Hey there, all you creepers and reapers. My name is Anna, and I'm your co hostess. Welcome to Femme Fatalities. Are you tired of seeing the same old ghouls and goblins on your way to the next coven meeting? Well, look no further, because we have something different for you. This is my co host, Margaret.
Hello, all you grieflings and frightlings, and welcome to our horror and thanatology podcast. So, wait, what is thanatology? Thanatology is the discipline, the science, the everything death, dying, grief related. That includes medical, biological, ethical, spiritual, sociological, and psychological. Anything you want to add to that, Anna?
Yeah, don't forget loss and change. I mean, just because we lose something doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You know, I recently lost my mind. Just kidding. I found it in the bathtub. So, anyway, if you are experiencing loss or change, this is a really fun podcast to kind of check out, especially if you like spoopy movies. We are going to talk about like film noir, old scary movies, new scary movies, classics, things that you probably haven't seen yet. And we're also going to do some deathicate talks, which is more about how to behave in death and loss related environments, things like that. So we really want to let you know we're trying to bring a really cool, fun, exciting variety to the subject matter. And if you guys have anything you really are curious about and you want to hear about, this is a safe space. Comment. Please let us know. We are open to pretty much everything. Um, you probably noticed our name, which is Femme Fatalities. So it is a feministic approach to death related topic. However, I do want to take a minute to kind of give both of us the opportunity to define what we view as feminism. For me, it's really just the idea of everyone having an equal opportunity, everyone being heard, no matter what situation or environment you find yourself in life. We want to make sure that this is a safe zone for you. Certainly, our ideologies may differ from one another. They may differ from yours. We're not saying one is right, one is wrong. We're really trying to help you with tools and ideas that might give you the inspiration to look at things in a different way than you normally do. What do you think, Margaret? How would you define feminism from your perspective?
Ooh, great question. Yes, to me, feminism is basically the feminist perspective on life, relationships, movies. How do women show up in the world? How are women treated in the world? And how might our view differ from that of the masculine view, as well as how those two interplay and impact each other?
Very cool. And, to talk about that a little bit more, when we were looking at people show up, we're seeing them show up in horror movies a lot. And that's why we want to talk about it and kind of the different roles that different archetypes fall into. So when we talk about horror, I think it appeals to us in different ways. We'll get to the horror connection in a minute. First, I think we really need to define horror as it appeals to us individually. So for me, horror is best described as something that equally enchants and repulses me at the same time. So it could be a super scary movie, or it could be a really bad plate of linguine with clam sauce. So, horror is very multi-expansional and dimensional. What about you, Margaret?
Yes. Ooh, horror to me, like you said, it is enchanting and it is also repulsive at the same time. It's something that is enticing me, it's pulling me in, and at the same time I'm pulling back. I've got this reservation. I'm not sure about it.
Definitely. And the cool thing is that Margaret and I actually connected with our love of horror. So we were in grad school at the same time in a thanatology program. And that's how we discovered we both really love spooky stuff and Halloween and all of those fun things. And so we were just kind of talking one day and we're like, what would be cool is if we like talk to more people about that. So that's where you guys, our audience, come in. And we're super excited. Margaret had a really cool idea too, which we're going to be giving you guys a little taste of today, but not much of a spoonful because that's going to be reserved for the holiday season. but she was talking about what we have dubbed baby horror. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, Margaret?
So, baby horror is our introduction to horror. These are the movies that are made for kids, designed for kids or families, and they may or may not be kind of spooky, kind of creepy. We've got Goosebumps, Coco. What else do we have? And I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, we've got Beetlejuice, the Monster Squad. You cannot talk about horror without talking about the Wolfman and his nards. Hello. That's like
Yes.
the thing. And the great thing is, like, a lot of these films are super nostalgic. We can remember watching these as kids. These are really fun things that you can share with your kids. And it's a really great way for you to open up the conversation about maybe some of your cultural superstitions that you hold in your family, or some of your, traditions related to honoring your departed loved ones, or even death in general. It's a really healthy, fun way because you have entertainment, and it's not as though you're just kind of sitting down and saying, let's talk about death. So it's a much easier way to break the ice with the little kiddos, or even, a spouse or a partner, because a lot of people don't want to talk about death and loss. So it's a nice way to kind of segue into it.
And being open, because anything can be a segue into death, dying, and loss. We all
Especially
have death
watch one of us.
anxiety.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that's going to be super exciting. And we have a lot in store for you guys as listeners, too. Some films that we talk about may not necessarily be considered true horror. Some are just like completely like blood on the floor, intestines in the air, you name it, we've seen it type stuff. So we really want to bring you a really nice variety as well.
Yes, you name it, we're probably going to discuss it.
Yes. And then I do have to ask, just if anyone is looking for a movie to watch after our introduction, Margaret, what is your favorite retro horror movie? And then what is your favorite, like, recently come out type of horror film?
Ooh, those are great questions. I can't wait to hear your answers. So I'm going to start with recently came out. I'm going to have to go with Barbarian, which we will be discussing. That's one of my favorite new ones. Ooh, retro horror movie. Ooh, retro. What do I? Well, okay, I'm just going to go with Creep Show. I'm wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I love it. So Creep Show, that is one of my favorite
Awesome.
retro horror movies.
Heck yeah. So for me, for retro, I absolutely adore the movie It's Alive, which we will eventually get to in our podcast as well. There's just something so captivating about the Davis baby and the family dynamic and all of those things. Um, I do not recommend that if you have small children, do not watch it with them because it can be very upsetting. But if not, hell's bells to the wall, watch it with whoever you want. More modern, I think Midsummer definitely tops my list. Some people define that as horror. Some think it's just super heavy emotional drama, but I think it's great if you're looking for something where after the first time you see it, you're going to go, okay, what did I just watch? And then watch it again. Perfect film.
Yes. Ooh, wonderful films. Well, we are glad to have you join us on this adventure through death, dying, grief, through the lens of horror, which is subjective. So thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. And we will be seeing you soon. Until then, I hope we haunt your thoughts and you have some wonderful, wonderful films to freak out about. Till next
Yes.
time.
Bye.